Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Jurassic World review. Today we're taking a look at the new Primal Attack Battle Damage Albertosaurus. This figure is a straight up repaint of the original Albertosaurus. The original one came out almost 2 years ago, but unfortunately this version right here has been very elusive for collectors to get their hands on. This figure first started showing up in Brazil and a couple other South American countries over the last few months. And then recently it started showing up in Canada, where I was fortunate enough to trade with a fellow Canadian collector who helped me get my hands on this figure. As of right now, we don't know if or when this figure is going to show up in the US, but I have a feeling it's going to. As of right now, Walmart is expanding their Jurassic section, getting ready for Camp Cretaceous, so I'm hoping in the near future this figure will show up on the shelves. I think the latest it's going to show up is probably around the holiday season. That's just a gut feeling I'm having. So if and when this figure shows up, it should retail for $19.99, just like the original Battle Damage Albertosaurus. So let's just go over the packaging really quick before we crack this figure open. It comes in the new Primal Attack style box with the paddock fences in the sunset in the background. Jurassic World logo is up here, Owen in blue as always. The Battle Damage logo is down in this corner right here, and then spinning the box around, you get a nice full art picture of the Albertosaurus and a couple pictures of how that two-stage Battle Damage feature works. And then right here in the bottom corner, we have a picture of the other elusive Battle Damage figures which have not shown up in the US yet. They've been showing up, I believe, in Australia, the UK, other parts of Europe, and I think Mexico and South America. The very highly anticipated Gasosaurus, the repaint of the Triceratops, and the repaint of the Velociraptor. I actually do have a Gasosaurus figure coming in from Mexico. I ended up trading some Marvel Legends to a fellow collector down there, but I've been waiting forever for it to come in. It's just taking a long time because of the pandemic. So that will cover it for the packaging. Let's crack this figure open and take a closer look. And here is the Albertosaurus out of the packaging. And if you've been following this channel for a while now, you'll know that I really do enjoy this Albertosaurus mold. I enjoyed it so much, I actually ranked the Albertosaurus in my top 5 Jurassic World figures of 2019 video. And like I said, this figure is the exact repaint of the original Albertosaurus. And speaking of that figure, here is the original right here. So you can see the difference between these two figures. Let me just get this original one fully into shot. You can see this one right here is painted in a very light blue color. It's almost a pastel color. You have some bright green markings along the neck and head right here. And then right when you get to about the inorbital fenestra, it turns into a yellow coloration. On the original, the figure was a dark green with this maroon coloration, but not a lot of paint apps, you know, between these two figures. Same thing right here. You got just a little bit of shading underneath the neck. Same thing on this one right here, but it looks great. I really like how this figure looks. I just wish I had a little bit more paint apps. And, you know, the biggest issue a lot of people had with this figure is the hilariously small tail that is on this figure, but having short tails is a common theme among the Jurassic World figures. You know, these figures have to fit in the box, so compromises need to be made. So let's just get the original off to the side for a second, and let's just do a couple quick measurements. This figure is 14 inches long from tip of the tail to the tip of the snout, and just about 6 inches tall to the top of the spikes on the back of the neck right there. So Albertosaurus is around 30 feet in real life. So with those measurements, that'll put this figure somewhere in that 125 scale range. So let's zoom in and take a look at some of the finer details on this figure. You can see the head is very well sculpted. You have a lot of nice scale details sculpted on the head and lower jaw. The teeth are all nicely painted in an off-white color. The eye is the same color as the green pattern along the neck right here. I kind of wish the eye was a different color just to kind of break up that green color. You can also see the pupil is painted in black, and then you can see better right here how that green just kind of goes into a yellow coloration. I kind of wish that they just kind of went with the green, just kind of abruptly stops and goes to the yellow. It's not super noticeable unless you're looking at the figure up close. And then turn it around, you can see inside the mouth right here. Let me just adjust my light. You can see the tongue is well sculpted and textured. Unfortunately, it looks like they missed painting a part of the tongue right here. I have a bare spot with some white plastic coming through, but I have some pink paint. I could just like dab a toothpick and fix it up pretty quick. You got some nicely sculpted scoots and spikes along the side of the neck and along the top of the neck. I absolutely do love the head sculpt on this figure. I think it looks absolutely great. And then going down to the arms, you can see you got some nice non-prorated two-fingered hands right here. The hand claws are not painted in. And then going down to the legs. The feet on this Albertosaurus, that was another plus of this mold. They're not oversized like we see a lot on some of the other theropod models from Mattel. The feet are very proportionate. Yeah, they're still a little bit oversized, but they are nowhere as bad as their T-Rex figures. And since we have the feet lifted up, let's just zoom in so you can take a look at that scan code, so you can scan it into that fax app if you would like. And the toe claws are painted in a glassy black coloration. And then going down to the leg right here, you can see that sculpted in and painted battle damage. I actually like that. I know when they released the Camp Cretaceous Carnotaurus, they just painted on the battle damage. I do not like that look at all. It looks so much better sculpted in and then painted. I do have a little bit of sloppy paint right here. Some red drip down, but I guess you can just kind of count that as blood. And then turn the figure over. You can see some more nice scale detail in these like shingle looking scales going all the way down the back, going all the way down that very, very short tail. So all in all, a really nicely sculpted figure. Like I keep saying, I absolutely love the mold of this Albertosaurus. Moving on to articulation. The articulation on the figure is pretty standard. The neck is on a ball joint. You can rotate it 360 degrees. If you would like, you can make the head look down and look up that far. The jaw is also articulated, and just like on the original, that lower jaw is very tight to open and close. And then closing it, you can see the front teeth do hang over the bottom jaw. The arms can move backwards and forwards. They're not on a hinge like some of the other figures. I kind of wish they were on a hinge just to give us a little bit more posability. And then the legs, the hips are on a pivot to help with stability. This figure is actually very stable, even though the feet are smaller than normal. And then you do have some ankle rotation right here, and then the tail is on a ball joint. It can go up, it can go down, and it also can rotate 360 degrees if you like. The joint on mine is really, really tight, so I'm not going to mess around with too much. I don't want to snap it. And since this is a battle damage figure, this figure comes with the best battle damage Mattel has done in the line so far. I still think this two-stage is better than that bleeding, rotating gore effect that they put on the battle damage Spinosaurus. So what you need to do is just tap this trapdoor right here, and it will reveal the insides of the Albertosaurus. You have some nice soft rubber right here of its innards, and then its rib cage is supposed to be down, but it's really sensitive. Like when I just touch this, it usually activates the rib cage unless I touch it lightly. You see, you just heard the rib cage go up before I even hit the trapdoor, but when you hit the ribs, you can expose the inside. So I do, even though it's kind of a finicky device, I do really enjoy this two-stage battle damage. All right, let's move on with some comparisons. Here it is with one of the human figures. Here it is with John Hammond, and here it is with the Attack Pack Velociraptor. This is the one that came in the new Legacy Collection set. And here it is with the Savage Strike Scutosaurus. And here it is with the new Soundstrike Majungasaurus. Absolutely love the mold on this Majungasaurus. I have a feeling when I do my top 5 figures of 2020, this Majungasaurus is definitely going to be on that list. And lastly, here it is with the other 2 Tyrannosaurs in the Jurassic World line, the Epic Roaring T-Rex and the Massive Biters Tarbosaurus. Soon it's going to be 4 different species of Tyrannosaurs in the line when the Attack Pack of the Aleo finally releases. So Mattel's done a pretty good job of giving us some different species of Tyrannosaurs. Usually, you know, the entire line is just dominated by T-Rex, so it's really nice that we're actually getting different species of Tyrannosaurs. And out of all of them, the Albertosaurus is my favorite one so far. So final thoughts on this figure. I know a lot of people complain that Mattel does too many repaints, but when it's a repaint of a fantastic mold like this Albertosaurus, I'm not going to complain. I absolutely love the mold, and I love having variety among my dinosaurs in my collection, so this was an easy pickup for me. And this also isn't the only Albertosaurus we're getting this year. We have another Albertosaurus that's supposed to be coming out. I believe I saw it listed for the Massive Biters line. This new Albertosaurus is in the Jungle Explorers colors, and that one looks absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to get my hands on that one. And like I said at the beginning of the video, this figure is not being found in the US as of right now. It's popping up in Canada and some countries in South America. I do have a feeling it's going to show up in the US at some point. It's just a gut feeling I have. I have no inside sources, to check how these things are getting distributed. It's just a feeling I have, and I really hope it does show up, because I know what a pain these exclusives are for people to get their hands on. It can be very frustrating. And also try reaching out to some other collectors in other countries where this figure is showing up. There's stuff out there that we have in abundance that they can't find out there. So try to work out a trade with someone and try to get your hands on this figure like I did. I wish you all luck and get your hands on it, because I think it is another fantastic figure from Mattel. So that would do it for the review. I finally got some of the new attack packs, the Numosaurus and Bumpy. Actually, it came in trade with this figure, and I got some new PNSOs. I got the new Reborn Monty coming. I have a lot of cool stuff coming in the next couple of weeks. So I have a lot of reviews I'm very excited for, so stay tuned for those. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on the channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously and is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you for the next one.